Cultural Competency by Gretchen Hires. Hi, I'm Gretchen. Come along with me as I take you on a journey capturing my cultural competency experience. Let's begin with the dominant and subordinate group analysis. When we begin to reference the terminology dominant and subordinate, it produces a psychological state of mind of superiority over a group valued as inferior, absent of privilege. During the course of my study, my position as a subordinate group member has been highlighted. There are three subordinate groups for which I am a member of, the first being a woman, an undeniable member of the target group. The second group revealed are people of color, and lastly, those that are deprived, having meager resources, often being exploited or having to endure both racism and prejudice comes with having unfavorable social identities. However, if experienced for a duration of time, it becomes normal. Counterparts to the group aforementioned are dominant group members, including men, people of non-color, and the rich, receiving what is inconceivable to those considered of a lower degree. Let's talk about women in leadership, as I am a woman of the cloth. The experience of rejection regarding a leadership position is sobering. In religion, the male persuasion is preferred, and seemingly, the social identity of a woman is degrading and unworthy. I wasn't exactly born with a silver spoon in my mouth, but sometimes being a subordinate group member meant that you are deprived, having meager resources. The home that you see before you is a home that my parents had that was on the east side, although it's decrepit now, that it was not in the most influential neighborhood on the east side, but yet we were so proud to be homeowners. Living on the outskirts of the project, safety was still a concern. Unfavorable conditions, yes. Our social economic status was not in the place that we desired to be, but nonetheless, or believe it or not, I never even knew I was poor. After just witnessing that, can you believe I'm also a dominant group member? I identify with those that are able-bodied, adults, and U.S. citizens. The feeling experienced as a dominant member is unfamiliar. However, considering the subordinates, I felt powerful, in control, and a sense of importance, knowing I have the ability to influence and authority to carry it out. My culture biography. The journey begins as an African-American middle-class female, the firstborn of three girls and a native of Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston is a town rich of African roots with a deep Southern culture whose dialect is foreign. Breakfast is Bella Gucci, a terminology used to bring shame and irregularly good, being mocked by the non-locals, considering Bella's culture was of a lower degree. An obstacle to being a black Southern female was the lack of appreciating one's income. She was left to believe her worth was in her beauty and domestic work. My family culture was based on strengths that has set the tone for those behind them to follow. Densely populated with women, expecting the younger generation of females to exhibit the same tenacity that a male representation would. Showing signs of weakness was scorned and discouraged. Family came first, and nothing outside of that sphere could penetrate it. A pivotal point in my life took place when I had to make the transition of no longer being married, but becoming a widow. The dilemma of being a widow changed everything. Once a teen, now the sole provider. Having the shared responsibility of raising 4 children relieves the pressure and pain that comes with the journey of having to do it alone. Losing a spouse or death can be devastating and can't be compared to divorcing, as your partner's physical presence is gone forever. After the funeral, everyone went home. What was the point of the cultural biography, one might ask? Well, as a social worker, I understand in order to move forward on this person's path, it's important for me to do a self-reflection. It's important for me to familiarize myself with any type of biases or stereotypical ideas that I may have based on my morals, based on my values, and based on my beliefs. I must be flexible in my thinking in order to be successful in assisting clients from diverse backgrounds, understanding that things that I am accustomed to does not apply to everyone. Gretchen's cultural immersion. My first experience are the Native Americans. Mother Nature is sacred to Native Americans. It was expressed there was only one mother, and she gives herself freely. So give thanks to her. And when you have completed your visit with our mother, leave no trace. We all drink her water. We all breathe her air. There is only one mother we all have to share. We need to walk the sun and daughter gently. Earth is our mother, and the sky is our father. I had the honor to speak with Kobe Soto, who is from Puerto Rico. It was alarming to know that Puerto Rico was in the hands of the United States still. A territory with no independence. One cannot help but to be sympathetic towards this great struggle and setback. As an African American woman with similar experiences of being invisible and supported it, provokes a degree of sympathy. Puerto Rico is a Caribbean island. It is a part of a very vast Latino community, receiving little to no recognition of its individuality. In hopes of diffusing learned misconceptions and in-depth study of this group of culture if needed. Society often clusters the Latino people under one band, robbing them of their unique history, personality, and influence. As a social worker, in order to be effective, avoiding generalization is essential. Miguel Savain, a Haitian student, mentioned that she was in constant battle with her race, as African Americans and European Americans saw them as being black. Haitian families transitioning into an African American culture is pretty easy, but ironically, this type of assimilation is not seen as favorable and is discouraged because of the negative stigmatization associated with the black community. Whenever she was mistaken for being black, she was certain to make the correction. This changes everything. Apparently, being stereotyped becomes greater after identifying with her culture. Last but not least, Miss Clark, an older adult. Embarking upon the unknown is always scary, she said. Even worse, being reminded what comes with the territory such as illness, memory loss, financial strain, loneliness, decreased physical ability, and more. The aforementioned is what society expects, and if a person buys into it, the idea opens the door to discouragement. Mary mentioned this is not everyone's journey, yet those that are old is placed into the box, and sometimes it feels like society counts them for dead before dying. She expresses, life is not over at 65. And now for the grand finale. For the skill development, I choose to highlight Standard 8, professional education. As a social worker, my journey of achieving an associate degree in social work began at Atlanta Metropolitan College under the instruction of Professor Todd, which was achieved in the year 2013. Presently, I attend the MD Young School of Policy at Georgia State University with the goal of graduating with a bachelor's degree in social work, taking various courses guided by the School of Social Work curriculum. Specifically, I will continue to pursue a master's program at Georgia State to further cultivate my social work professional education. In closing, because of the experience of this cultural competency project, I obligate myself to the NASW Code of Ethics in the attempt to avoid discrimination and biases, which will be my focus. Therefore, promising to ensure cultural competency and the social work cultural competencies with culturally diverse groups and social and economic justice will be a continued effort. I will also continue to practice cultural sensitivity, knowing the similarity exists amongst cultures, and as a social worker, I must respect all differences. Thank you.